Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Asad Yaqub here, and I welcome you to a wonderful video. Well, guys, in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide for your IELTS speaking test, the time when you arrive at your speaking test center, and the time when you leave from there, how to perform, what are the rituals, how to face the examiner, how to react to the questions of the examiner, how to behave and all that. So this video is going to be more than enough for all your speaking needs. And after watching this, I don't know, 10 minutes or 8 minutes or 12 minutes video, you'll be crystal clear about IELTS speaking. Okay. The first thing is IELTS speaking test is a face-to-face interview with the examiner, either online or physical. If it is physical, physical is better. If it is online, there can be certain technical glitches as well. Okay. Yeah, one of my students appeared recently. She had her speaking test online. In part 3, there was complete silence and they got disconnected, and then they started the test from zero once again. Okay. But anyways, that's not your headache. If they start your test over again, no problem. Enjoy that. As far as IELTS speaking test is concerned, within 11 to 13 minutes, if your performance is good performance means you answer every question, you understand the question, you speak around 5-6 sentences for part 1 and all that, you can get very good bench score. And by the way, I've noticed one thing, listening and speaking, these are 2 modules. If you get the best band in listening speaking, these 2 modules will upgrade your overall IELTS band as well. So let's make a start. You go for IELTS speaking test, you have your ID or your passport. Okay, you report to your test center, and there you will find some facilitators. They're going to check your ID, they're going to check your appointment for speaking test and all that, and then they make you sit somewhere for some time until your name is announced and all that. And by the way, the appointment time is not the sharp time that they're going to start your test. Sometimes if you go early, they may start before or they may start after half hour, 20 minutes and all that stuff as well. Okay. Now, before your speaking test, until you go to examiner's room, they will not evaluate anything. As you enter, whether you say, may I come in, may I step in, okay, whatever, they don't mind. Once you sit in front of the examiner and it is physical test, the examiner will first check your ID and all that stuff. And examiner will ask you, are you ready? If you are ready, if you've got fast heartbeat, if you've got anything like that, you can ask the examiner to offer you some water. Or even you can say, well, my heart is pounding, so I need 5 minutes, and they will ask you to sit out and then they will call you back as well, right? If you are out of breath, if your heartbeat is fast, do not start your speaking test and tell the examiner I'm not in a state of mind, or my state of mind, my physical state does not allow me to start the test, so I need 5 to 10 minutes to relax. Try to reach your test center 10 to 15 minutes before the reporting time. Sometimes you reach right on the reporting time or at the reporting time, and as you reach, they grab you and they start your test. So reach 10 to 15 minutes before the reporting time so that you could see some students coming and going. Now, don't ask them, what are they asking? What was your cue card? Is the examiner friendly or not non-friendly? Don't do that, okay? Don't do that at all, right? And they don't allow you to do that, okay? This is going to confuse you. This is going to confuse you a lot. So, when your turn comes, a facilitator or invigilator will take you to the room, and don't get surprised if there is a laptop in front of the examiner or if there is a screen in front of the examiner with a headphone and all that. This is possible. They convert physical speaking to remote speaking or remote speaking to physical speaking. Like this is happening, right? You need to make up your mind for all these things. As you enter, they have their protocols. If there is physical exam, they will check all your IDs and all that. And then there is that recording device. Examiner is going to press the button and your speaking test is recorded on the audio. And then examiner is going to say, my name is this, time is this, date is this, examiner number is this, candidate is this, candidate's name, candidate number. And we are going to start the speaking. That's all the formalities that they have. And then they start the speaking test, and mostly they ask this question, do you work or study? Now, when they ask you this question, do you work or study? You need to give a straightforward answer within a couple of sentences. Don't try to expand your answer. This is the time when examiner wants to categorize you, whether you are a student or you are a homemaker, or otherwise you are a professional. So it depends on you. It does not depend whether you are taking academic IELTS or gender training IELTS, UKVI or whatever, right? Doesn't matter. So it's all up to you. But like when I appeared in my IELTS exam, I was a professional at that time, but I told the lady I'm a student. So it was quite easy for me to handle the question. And I handled the question. I got 8 band in speaking, okay? So let me tell you, answer this question. And it's a very simple way. Well, I'm a homemaker and I stay home to take care of my family. Well, I'm a student and I've just completed my intermediate or +2. Or you can say, well, I'm a professional and at the moment I'm working with a college as a lecturer. That's it. Okay, don't try to give funny answer. Do you work or study? Some people work, some people study. The people who study eventually they do work, and the people who work they should study as well so that they get more earnings in their life. Sorry about that. Okay, don't prolong the answer. Don't take it as an opportunity that I start. Don't start like a machine, okay? Answer and allow the examiner to ask you the next question. In speaking part 1, examiner may ask you 5 questions on one topic or 10 questions on 2 different topics, and examiner may ask you 1 question on one topic, 2nd question on 2nd topic, 3rd question on 3rd topic, and all that. Don't worry about that. Allow the examiner to ask you as many questions as examiner wants and answer every question with full energy, full excitement, full enthusiasm, and as if this is your speaking test. Okay? Yes. If examiner does not show interest, doesn't matter. If examiner yawns at your face, if examiner does not make any eye contact with you, if examiner is not interested in what you're speaking, don't worry. This is your speaking test. You have paid the fee. You are planning to go to a foreign country. You should take interest. Right? Sometimes, the girls are not interested, but boys are interested. So become a boy like that. Whether your gender is opposite, doesn't matter. Okay? In speaking part 1, when you start answering the questions, there can be a couple of things which may happen. If examiner says, why not? It means your answer is lacking proper explanation, so you need to speak a little more, right? When examiner says, why not? Elaborate your point. And the next answer which you're going to give, try to add a couple of sentences. And if you're speaking and examiner interrupts you, it means you're giving a long answer. Examiner wants a short answer. So the next answer you're going to give, you need to give a short answer. And by the way, these interruptions from the examiner will not affect your band score. Okay, I've seen a student of mine who came out of his speaking test and said, sir, examiner did not even allow me to talk, and I was answering the question and examiner asked me the next question. Then I started my answer to the next question, examiner asked me the next question, and the student was so worried about the band score, and the same student got 7 band in speaking. Okay, so don't worry about that. They will give you band score as per your speaking. Once your speaking part 1 is over. And by the way, after answering 4 to 5 questions to the examiner, mentally you will be prepared. I mean, your chemistry will be matched with the examiner, that okay, this examiner wants this long answer, this much answer, and all that. Okay, so once they ask you 3-4 questions, you'll be very comfortable after that. Now, once your speaking part 1 is over, examiner will give you a topic, pen, paper for part 2. And you need to see the title of the topic, make an outline, decide immediately. If you have a real life experience related to the cue card, try to elaborate that. Otherwise, you can create anything at the same time. You can exaggerate, you can improvise any story, anything like that. But remember, you have to speak according to the cues. What do most students do? When they speak on the cue card, they forget about the cue card, they put it on the table and they start talking to the examiner and they pick up the title of the cue card. All you need to do, you need to see what the cues are. Although there is no penalty. If you miss any cue, there is no penalty. If you speak on second cue first and first cue last, there is no penalty on that as long as you cover the main topic. But remember, we non-native speakers of English, when it comes to spoken English or when it comes to speaking English, 1 minute is a long time. Okay, exactly, I'm telling you. So in speaking part 2, when examiner stops you, then you should stop. Otherwise, keep talking, keep explaining. And when examiner gives you a gesture that you should stop, then you can stop, and then examiner will take pen and paper back from you, topic back from you, and then you can move on to speaking part 3. So for speaking part 2, connect yourself with the topic, connect yourself with the notes you have taken and explain on them one by one. Now, once you reach IELTS speaking part 3, examiner will ask you some follow-up questions, and these follow-up questions are always related to your cue card mainly, and sometimes they pick up some other questions as well. So you need to answer the question in great detail. For part 3, try to use advanced structures. Questions like advantages, disadvantages, questions like opinion, questions like comparison, questions like prediction. So they may ask you 8 to 10 questions. One of my students, he was asked 22 questions. He counted all the questions, okay? 22 questions in speaking part 3. And another guy, he was asked only 2 to 3 questions. And then examiner said, okay, thank you. And he got 8.5 in speaking. His interview is there on my channel as well. And there's a student who got 9 band in speaking. His interview is there on my channel as well. So you need to go on, you need to answer every question. In part 3, sometimes examiners become indecisive, then they ask you more questions. Answer every question with full interest, full energy, and in the end, examiner will thank you, and that will be the end of your speaking test. And remember, they may ask you many questions, but the duration of your speaking test is 11 to 13 minutes. Sometimes examiners finish your speaking test in 8 minutes, 9 minutes as well, but that's perfectly normal. And sometimes they take 14, 15 minutes, that's perfectly normal. And they record your speaking test and all that, right? Once your speaking test is over, thank the examiner. Do not ask the examiner for your band score. Do not try to cheat or do not try to see what my band score is. One of my students appeared in IELTS exam, said, sir, my bad luck. Examiner gave me 5 band in speaking. I said, well, your result is not announced yet. How do you know examiner gave you 5 band? And he said, sir, I saw examiner wrote number 5 on a paper, right? And by the way, his speaking test was on 5th of March. That could be a date. So don't try to check your band score before they, announce your band score. Don't try to ask the examiner about your band score. Eventually, they are going to tell you about your band score. And during your speaking test, please do not evaluate yourselves. Do not just see, do not try to read the reaction of the examiner. One student of mine appeared in IELTS test and said, sir, I did a great job in my speaking. Even the examiner was smiling. And the poor fellow got 4.5. That's why examiner was smiling, because he was murdering English language, right? Another student said, sir, examiner was not interested in what I was saying. Examiner did not maintain any eye contact with me. And that student of mine, she got 7.5 band in speaking. So examiners are like wives. You will never understand them, right? If they look at you lovingly or angrily, you will never understand them. Your job is to speak. This is your speaking test, and I wish you good luck with that. All the best, guys. Thank you so much. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you are not my subscriber, consider subscribing. I teach IELTS online all over the world and in campus in Lahore. And we offer IELTS test booking service. We offer IELTS writing assessment service. If you want to get any of these services, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wholeheartedly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.